Welcome all you Sagittarians to your monthly reading for January 2022. And I've been saying, I cannot believe it's 2022 already. These readings do come out a couple weeks before January 1st, but I'm going to let you know, just a heads up for January 1st, I'm going to be putting out pick a card readings for each of the zodiac signs, and it's going to just cover for the whole year. Just what heads up the Creator wants to give us on what's coming into our life, what's leaving our life, like the endings and new beginnings. So keep a lookout for those, because those will be coming out as well. They'll actually post on January 1st, New Year's Day. The rest of the monthly readings for the year are going to be based on the chakras, and we're going to start off with the root chakra. That's why there's so much red here, because that is the root chakra color. And that is generally all about how we as individuals relate ourselves to the world, to the groups of people, not one-on-one, but as a group. So how we deal with the mysterious they out there in the world. So we're going to be looking at focusing on this reading around what can you do, or what does the Creator want us to be aware of where we feel unsafe and insecure, and how we can become more aware of these feelings of feeling more safe and more secure in our lives. And we're going to start off by pulling a card here from this deck that I'm working on with the Creator. It actually has 7 stacks, one for each of the chakras, and this one, of course, is going to be the root chakra. And this is about what emotional heat are we feeling, what emotions are being involved. The root chakra is actually where we also face our fears, so that is something that we'll be looking at here, just to see what is causing us to feel unsafe and insecure, and how can we transform that. Also, we'll be picking cards from a tarot deck. This time we're going to be using the Wild Unknown Tarot. And what I do is I separate the major arcana from the 4 suits of the minor arcana. And the major arcana will be like these cards, where it's more over the overall energy for the month of January, and then we'll get into the minor arcana here in a sec. So Creator, for our Sagittarians, what would you like them to know regarding their safety and security? Okay, I feel like it's going to be this one right here. And we got suffering. Yes, suffering. See all that suffering going on inside the brain there. And I love what the Creator shows us here is act differently, put on a different mask. Not really put on a different mask, but what the suffering is all about is, I love the phrase that we all, experience pain in our lives, but whether we suffer or not is up to us. Because suffering is a choice. Suffering is one of those stories that we apply to whatever circumstances going in our life. So with our safety and with our security, we're fearing suffering. We're fearing some outcome in the future that is going to make us suffer, or we are carrying over and nursing suffering from a past event that we just keep on a looping cycle, and so suffering is existing in our life today. So I love that this is coming up for us, because that means that we're going to learn about how we can act differently, how we can apply a new story to whatever happened in our past, or is happening now, or might happen in the future, and how we can transform that where we're not suffering. We're just choosing a different emotion to feel around that. So we're also, like I said, going to pull a card here from the major arcana of this Wild Unknown Tarot, and just see what else the Creator wants us to know regarding this suffering and how to transform that in January. All right, there we go. All right, Creator, so for our Sagittarians. Okay, actually, there it is right off the bat here. Let me just make some room for these cards. There we go. And you got the Lovers. And this is a beautiful card, because there's a beautiful story that I heard around the Lovers card. This is the number 6 up top, and number 4 and number 5 in the major arcana is the Emperor and the Hierophant. And both of those represent leaders of a sort, right? One is like more leader of society, the Emperor. The other is more religious leader, like a Hierophant or a Pope, or, someone in religious leadership. And they both have two sides of them. They have a loving side whose intentions are to bring people together in a loving way, and any rules that are created are for everyone to come together and to be successful and spread love. It's kind of the quick, easy, fast piece of that. But the dictator side, the fearful side, the shadow side of those is because they are connecting to that inner shadow of themselves, the one that's fearing, that wants to be in control. Whenever it feels unsafe, it tries to be in control. It brings all these rules and rules and rules and rules and rules. And so usually when we're young, that's when we get all those rules implanted into us from, 2 years old, when we're in our, terrible twos, where we're saying, no, 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 all the way up to our teenage years. But the Lovers is about that first time, like in our teenage years, is usually when it happens, when we have some sort of passion spark within us, where there's something that we care so much more about than the rules, that we are willing to break the rules. So we're willing to break curfew and go see that person that we have a crush on, or we go see that movie or that band that we weren't supposed to see and we snuck out, or pretended we went over to a friend's house and then we went to go see it so that our parents wouldn't find out, or whatever it might be. That's the kind of energy around this, is that you have this passion enough that's flowing into your life that you're willing to break the old rules. And so this love, this passion, this inner spark is going to be happening within you during January, that allows you to go, you know what? This old way of thinking, these old stories that have been applying to my suffering, to my situations, these emotions I've been choosing around my circumstances that I've been suffering, I'm going to question that now. We've been told and taught so much when we're young that this, when this thing happens in our life, we're supposed to suffer. When this thing happens in our life, this is the story around it. This is supposed to be, I'm supposed to let everyone know how I'm suffering, and that's the story I'm sticking with, and that becomes your identity, right? Well, this passion that's going to be coming in is going to help transform that and mold it, because I'm pretty sure that, the attention we get when we're suffering from others is, at least we're getting some attention from others. You're getting sick and tired of feeling sick and tired and feeling that way. You'd much rather just have this beautiful love and attention given to you without having to go through all this, right? So we're going to dig into the 4 suits of the minor arcana. And these are going to represent 4 different parts of your life. And we're going to start off with the Wands, which is the fire energy. And it represents your spark, your ambition, your drive, your aha inspiration, your passion, as well as your spiritual energy. So this will be what the Creator wants you to know around your spiritual energy or your passionate energy during the month of January. And this is your sign. You're a fire element anyway, is what I mean. So you're used to dealing with this fire. So nothing to be afraid of here. This is your own turf. So Creator, what do you want? Okay. Actually, they want these both here. And you got the Mother of Wands. So this is really awesome, because this would be like the Queen of Wands in a regular deck as well. You see how she's protecting and nurturing the eggs. The queens also, or the mothers, also have water energy, so this really has to do very much about your spiritual energy and trusting your gut, connecting to the higher realms, definitely with this popping up here for you. The other, like the Page, the Knight, and the King, which are the other kind of royalty of the suit, they normally will have some sort of protection for them, whether it's dragons or some sort of lizard, which protects them from risk. But the Queen never needs it, because she's so connected to her intuition that she trusts and knows that she's following the guidance, and that she doesn't need protection from risk, because she knows she's connected. She knows she's getting the messages and seeing things that are more, more deep, that are beyond just what you're seeing. So, there's not this unknown feeling about the future, because she knows, and she's connected to those higher truths, and she's also connected to the eye in the sky that tells her and prepares her for what's coming. So that kind of helps with the future suffering that's coming in. Yeah, and you have the Two of Wands. So this is about making a choice, making a decision, planning, putting this energy that you have, this spark coming in, and making a new plan in a new direction. So this passion that's coming in, this new energy that's going to be coming in, you're able to laser focus it. That's something that the Queen is able to do, is just really focus in. She's very confident and she knows what she wants. And then she makes a plan, A, B, C, D, E, F, and takes a step from A to B and starts making those steps. So I really like this energy that's coming in. It's saying that this passion that's coming in, you definitely want to take action around it. We're also going to pull from this Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck, which is the same author as these, same creator. And we're just going to see what else the creator wants you to know about your spiritual adventure, or this passionate energy that's coming in. All right, creator, what else do you want our Sagittarians to know about this fiery energy coming in? Okay, there we go. And you've got the Camel. Beautiful new moon on here. And let's just take a look and see. Let me just move this down a little. And see what energy this Camel brings in for you. Of course, they're able to go long distances without much water. They store up so they don't suffer. They're able to find what they need within themselves, right? So that they're not so freaking out and suffering like everyone else is when they run out of water. This is about being resourceful, independent, and knowing one's self. So the Camel can handle absolutely anything, as it carries a wealth of nourishment within. This wondrous creature is self-reliant and handles challenge with ease. Even in the face of excess heat, like judgment or anger, the Camel searches inside for the cool elixir of water to calm the situation. The Camel represents the ultimate form of bringing opposites into balance, fire and water, and being responsible for one's own reactions. Wow. So the Camel is a wonderful traveler and is especially fond of trips to faraway lands. When you're in balance with the Camel energy, then you're calm, you're content, you have a sparkle in your eye. When you're out of balance with this, then you're dehydrated and you lack vitality. You suffer. And to bring this into balance, it says try a pilgrimage. So make movement, plan something different, go in a different direction. I just realized that was upside down, sorry. So, definitely this Mother of Wands represents that fire energy that you have, and that you have this beautiful source of vitality and energy within you. And it's like time to have a pilgrimage. A pilgrimage is like returning back to that holy place inside you. And I really feel that this is what this is about getting in there and connecting to that. We're also going to look at the Pentacles suit, which is next, and that's the earth energy and represents like the world around you. So it's the relationships outside of you. It's those situations like jobs and education and your body and objects and possessions you own and your bank account. So everything going on the outside stage, the spirits inside you. We're going to talk about mind and emotions next. All that happens within you, but this is the outside world. So what do you want our Sagittarians to know about their external adventure? Okay, nope, they said not those yet. So your external adventure during the month of January. Is there just one? I feel like there was two. Yeah. Yep, so you have the Five of Pentacles. And so the Five of Pentacles, you can see how there's this loss feeling here, like you've been abandoned. Usually it's like someone in the middle of winter and they're barefoot and wounded, and they're passing a big stained glass window. And this is about this transformation of your worth, about your support from the outside world. And what happens, 5 is this transformational viewpoint that happens. It's the number of change. So you move from this, where you're this, look at like a suffering flower, right? Because the flower, which is a red rose, which is the root chakra, right, is based on thinking that the outside world, these humans, are what bring me my worth, that bring me my necessities and all of that. And when we do that, and we see that the people outside are not bringing us what we think we are supposed to be receiving, then we get disappointed in them and we feel abandoned. We feel left alone. When we realize this bright glowing object up above, that is the creator, that is source, that is that beautiful beings of unconditional love and light on the other side, that the creator is the one who brings us what we need and is the source of our abundance and necessities in our life. And of course, their resources are endless. And the people on the outside that end up bringing stuff to us are the third party that are bringing it to us. They're the shipping company that the creator uses to bring it to us. And so you have this transformation of being let down on the outside by these people, knowing and trusting and building this trust that the creator will always bring you what you need in the moment, and what is for you will never pass you by. And so you have this transformation, knowing that what's happening in your life is happening for you. It's not happening to you. So you know that whatever's going on and what you have in your physical world, you can see it from a different standpoint. You get to, make that transition. Yeah, Ace of Pentacles. And that allows you to see new opportunities where you didn't see opportunities before, because when you have this really small avenue of how the creator has to bring things to you, what you want, and you're like, and this is when I want it and how I want it, it's very, very thin. But if you just know what you want, and then you open it wide and let the creator, trust the creator's timing, that everything is going to arrive in the perfect time, in the perfect way, and you don't have to worry about all that. It just frees you up. And it also transforms the suffering feeling, right? Because when you're like, okay, this is happening to me, and I'm so upset about it, because that's what I've been taught to believe. When you transform this, when this way of looking at the outside world changes for you, you realize, you know what? That is happening for a reason. Instead of focusing on my suffering around it and thinking that it's something bad, if I trust the creator, then I can look at it in a different way and ask, why would I have wanted that to be in my life? What am I learning about myself, life, others, and the world, and so that does create opportunities. An example is like, I wasn't going to move back to Colorado Springs where I live because it's so expensive, and I didn't have a steady job, and I was like, there's no way that I can move back there without a job, so I have to go get a job first and have that job history and save up money for a move, and I had this little thin way of looking at it in this situation, going, that's the only way I could move back to what I consider my hometown is if I do that. And out of the blue, a dear friend said, hey, my basement's available. Why don't you just move back and live in my basement? Don't worry about, paying me anything right now. And I was like, wow, blew it wide open, right? And that's the kind of stuff. We don't have any idea on all the possibilities when we have our view so small, right? We're also going to pull a card here from this Sacred Forest Oracle and just see what else the creator wants you to know about your outside world adventure during January 2022. All right, what else do you want our Sagittarians to know? Okay, I feel like it's this one. Actually, you get 2 for this one, which is awesome. So let's see what we got here. You've got the Unicorn, Purity. Love that. And then you also have the Willow Spirit. flexibility. So like I was saying, flexibility. And I like the unicorn is about believing in magic, believing in higher things. I always joke, when I talk about the other side and how our support comes from the other side, and there's this large host of Creator and Spirit, the Holy Spirit, depending on if you have a religious preference on that, and got your guardian angels and guides and loved ones who are already on the other side, and ancestors and unicorns and fairies and whatever those beings of unconditional love and light are. Just believe that they're there and that they support you and that they're showing themselves to you. And that I feel like that's what this card, they wanted to have this one come out for. But this is the one they want me to read, which is card 48. And this is about that flexibility, flexible on how you receive things from the outside world, instead of being so stringent. And that's where our suffering can come in too, is when things aren't unfolding exactly as I want them to be, right? I know, I've been there. And this says, at the edge of the forest pond grows a large willow. Her branches dip lightly into the waters. As the wind rises, her elegant boughs sway to and fro like a mystic dancer. Her dangling leaves whisper across the water in lazy designs. And this card encourages you to be flexible in your life, be willing to bend, and even to yield. There is power in doing this as a choice rather than as a forfeit of your will. Even though there are times to stand strong, sometimes the greater valor is to go around a situation rather than face it head on. By being adaptable, you can succeed, whereas someone who is more rigid may not. In rough winds, a strong oak tree may break, while the willow can bend without snapping. Adjust to life rather than fight it. Surrender to the process. As the willow can weather storms, so you too can weather life's challenges. There are many legends regarding the willow tree. It often has associations with gods and goddesses, such as Hecate, Hecate, I probably murdered how to say that, Artemis, and Mercury. In ancient Athens, it was a practice of the priests of Asclepius, I think is how you say it, to place willow branches in their temples in the belief that it would draw mystical healing. The willow was also sacred to poets, for the sound of the wind through the willow was thought to influence poetic expression. In Celtic traditions, the willow has always been known as a tree of dreaming, inspiration, and enchantment. And the spirit of the willow says, be flexible in your life, be willing to bend rather than break, be amenable to change, and you will flourish in wonderful ways. And I really love that for you. There was something that jumped out too about standing strong, being adaptable, just bending and not breaking, and just to life rather than fight it. And our suffering comes in, and you can see that it was all about in our mind, because when we have this thought and this belief that I should not be feeling this way, this should not be happening in my life, we have all these beliefs and reality is fighting against that, then that's when we suffer, because our mind is at battle. Byron Katie, she's a wonderful, wonderful, sweet soul. She has this process called Judge Your Neighbor, and you can look into it it's thework.com, just THEWORK.com. And I love it. She goes, when reality fights against our should be's and, all those thoughts of how we think we should be, reality wins, but only 100% of the time. I love that, because it's true. It's like, how do you know that's supposed to be happening in your life? Well, because it is. If it wasn't supposed to be, it wouldn't be, right? So I love that awareness that comes with that from her. which we're going to move into the mind now, which is the sword suit, the air element. This is your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your attitudes, your expectations. And this will be what your mental adventure, what the Creator wants you to know about it during the month of January. All right, for Sagittarians, what do you want them to know about their mental adventure? All right, there we go. And you got the Sun of Swords, which would be the Knight of Swords. And the Knight of Swords is all about action and movement of your thoughts and beliefs. You can see that they're yielding or wielding the Ace of Swords. And the Ace of Swords does two things. One, it brings you these capital T truths that you get from the spirit world as you connect into this deeper part of yourself, right? It also gives you the ability to cut away those thoughts and those beliefs that no longer serve you. These thoughts and beliefs that were bringing suffering, they've served you for your purpose. You came here to experience suffering, and you have. And because this is coming up now, this is a point in your life where you're ready to let go of those beliefs and move into new beliefs that are not of suffering, new beliefs that will make you feel more safe and more secure. So I love that you have this action, you have the knight, the sun, like the prince that has come in to help wield away and whittle away those thoughts and beliefs that are creating this for you. And we're going to also pull a card here from the numerology guidance cards and just see what else the Creator wants you to know about your mental adventure during this month. What else for Sagittarians for their mental adventure? What else do you want them to know? Okay, that one right there. And you got personal growth. Beautiful. Card number 7. And this is the purple, which is the color of your crown chakra. So really big indicator to connect to that higher place. That's capital T truth. So that does affirm that. And this card does indicate a time of significant growth and improvement when you're being encouraged to be the best that you can be. This is a time to ask yourself, who am I, right? What do I want from my life, and what is preventing me from achieving it? When you ask yourself these questions, observe whatever comes up. Then acknowledge your mental and physical limitations. Right? Your physical limitations. We talked about how you were looking and perceiving life. And then set realistic goals for overcoming them and take the necessary steps to follow through. With desire and determination, you can reach your full potential. Because by drawing this card, you're being encouraged to investigate anything that helps raise your conscious awareness and enhances your self-esteem. Maybe a book, a CD, an online seminar, a workshop, a health program, a yoga practice, or a meditation. Or maybe working with an energy worker, a therapist, or a life coach. Whatever suits your needs. A step in this direction, regardless of what it is, will set you up for life. In order to improve your current situation, you're being asked to adjust to and harmonize with the natural rhythm and cycles of your life. Cycles that are leading you toward a time of significant growth and improvement. As you improve yourself, you improve your quality of life. And as you raise your awareness, you align yourself with Source. This is all you need to make your dreams come true. And the affirmation for this card is, as I improve myself, I improve the circumstances of my life. So yeah, definitely as you look into these thoughts and these beliefs that this was talking about, this is how you improve your life, by questioning those thoughts and beliefs that are at the source of the suffering. It's like walking around with a pebble in your bottom of your shoe. You've probably experienced that. You just walk and you're like, ow, 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 ow. And when you take the time to remedy that, get to the root of the situation, root chakra, getting to the root of it, then you take that out. And it took some time and some effort to take that pebble out. But when you're walking, you're like, oh, thank God, it's it's not there anymore. All right, and then we're going to move into the last suit, which is the Cups suit, water element, and this, of course, represents your emotions. So this is going to be what your emotional adventure looks like in January regarding this emotion of suffering, right? All right, Creator, for our Sagittarians, what do you want them to know about their emotional adventure? Okay, these two. And you've got the Two of Cups. So this is I'm glad this came up here too, because you've got the 2 here, and then you have a 2 again. And, 2022 is, I'm actually going to be working on a kind of a video series of some sort, and it's going to be called You times 2 in 2022. And so what a beautiful way to start this off is that you're realizing there's more than just the human side of you that is living on this earth. Your shadow side, which is your human side, your part of yourself that's kind of ruled by fight or flight, and all of that. It's like a little child within us. That's just the character that is playing us on this earth at this time. It's the, avatar, the character. But the actor behind this character is a powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being made of unconditional love. This is that higher self. This is your pilgrimage back to understanding who you are. And this Two of Cups, reiterates that message with the two-ness. One of these cups is the cup that's here that always feels empty when we're trying to fill it by the outside world stuff. That's when we suffer. But the other cup is the chalice. It's the Holy Grail. It's the Ace of Cups. And what that is filled with is the living waters that we're truly thirsty for. It's the essence of our Creator, the unconditional love of the Creator. And so that cup pours, and then you're able to bring those two together and see life in a completely different way. Yeah. Because here's the Eight of Cups. You're ready to let go of those emotions that no longer serve you. All those broken glasses, just all this outside beliefs, that we feel. And I'm going to put that one under here because this is the solution right here, is connecting to that and realizing that all those emotions served you. Like I said, your suffering has served you. You've experienced what it feels like. That's what our shadow wanted to experience when it came here. All the opposites of what we are on the other side. But when you reconnect to the other side and you realize you're so much more, you realize you have another choice that you can make. You can still suffer anytime you want, and you can, but you also can flip a switch and unsuffer and not suffer. You can feel joy and peace and love and health and wellness and everything else. And so just knowing that there is an opposite that you can choose. You might still experience pain in your life, but you don't have to suffer with it. And then lastly, we're going to pull a card here from the Priestess of Light Oracle. And this can still be about what else the Creator wants you to know about your emotional adventure. But since it's the last card for this reading for you, we're going to make it a wild card as well. So it's whatever else the Creator wants you to know about the month of January. All right, Creator, what's your final message for our Sagittarians for this reading, please? Okay, I want that one right there. You got building your world. And I love that that's card 33, and it says creation, expansion, networking. The 33, like I was talking about, we have this journey, this adventure, as our human ego and our shadow side. I call that like master number 11 is mastering our ego's journey. And then you get 22, master number 22, which is about understanding that there's a spiritual side of us. So you're discovering the second piece, right? Like this 22 here. 33 is when you realize that having a spirit doesn't mean you need to destroy and kill your shadow or destroy your ego. It's about giving the ego what it's truly been thirsting for, which is this unconditional love, the living waters. And so it gives it what it's been searching for, and then it's like two pieces that fit in perfectly together. We don't want to destroy a piece of ourselves because our shadow is a piece of us. We join it together and hold together, and then you experience life in a wholly different, complete way with that. And that's what is happening here, is you're having this reunion within yourself here. And then I actually read from the book too. While I'm going off on my what they're telling me to tell you, they also want me to read from the book. This says, a priestess of the bees sits peacefully in the hollow of a tree, gathering the energy of the bees that fly around her and rest on her fingertips and third eye. She's surrounded by the honeycomb, and though her vision is turned inward, her thoughts are focused on outer plans taking shape. The bee is one of nature's most industrious creatures, and this card foretells a time of great productivity and expansion for you. If you've been thinking about growing your business or creating an entirely new one, focus on those intentions now. Your dreams may also include composing music, writing, teaching, painting, cooking, or baking, which are all projects that build on ideas and produce nectar for the body, the mind, and the soul. They do require repeated attention and action, so take time to create a plan. Set some goals and bring both the creative and the technical elements together. The bee is also a symbol of fertility, so the expansion foretold here may relate to family matters, a child or children on the way, new in-laws through marriage, or even reconnecting with distant friends or relatives. Those are all ways that you may be expanding your personal network. On a practical level, this card also can indicate a career in architecture, design, or construction. It could also signify connections with people who do such work. You may even be building a new house or expanding your present one. So a lot of expansion and creativity where suffering is kind of keeping you suppressed, and this is blocking these new opportunities and new things happening in the outside world. Connecting here is going to help release that and allow movement of that as well. The bees join together to assemble their hive structure and provide for their community, increasing value for all. Now's the perfect time for you to build the world you desire, so make your plans and set to work. And the affirmation for this card is, I have the power to create my world and prioritize the projects that I desire. As I continue to take action, my joy and fulfillment expand. So this is great because you can see this transformation of the energies. The energies that you've been investing into your suffering, you don't have to do that anymore. And so you're learning this beautiful way to all this personal growth, right? Of movement away from that. Instead of focusing energy in that, you focus it towards your dream instead, and that is a huge transformation. This new passion that you have for this new dream and this new connection to this higher love, this higher awareness of the power of who you are, just allows you to refocus all of that with that fine-tuned pointing of this Queen of Wands here, this Mother of Wands. You're able to focus it in and make things happen in your life and expansion in your life. So I am living this for you. What a great way to start the year. Starting on your path, making these plans, and having all this creative energy come flowing in instead of reinforcing, using all of that energy to maintain the suffering, right? All right. Well, I am going to leave the reading there. I'm really excited for this for you, though. I want to let you know, in addition to these readings, I also do weekly energy updates by each of the elements, like water signs, fire signs, etc. Also do new moon and full moon readings and some other readings throughout the month. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those and get notified immediately when they become available, if you haven't done so already, just click the subscribe button down below. That's going to make this notification bell pop up. And when you click on that, then you can choose your setting to be notified immediately. And so easy breezy to do that. Also, if you're enjoying these readings, if you don't mind giving me a little like and a little thumbs up, that helps the YouTube algorithm share these videos with more people. So that if you want to help, spread the love and spread the messages, then if you just give the video a like, that does help that. And I'm very grateful if you choose to do that as well. All right, my lovely Sagittarians, as you go throughout your life and each and every second of every day, just know that you are indeed unconditionally loved by the Mother and Father of all things, our Creator. And of course, I love you too. So have an amazing January. I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon. But until then, you take care.